it's a new year, and we're going to be looking at Nigerians' expectation for better governance. And we have, okay, we're going to be looking at Nigerians' expectation for better governance vis-a-vis the New Year poll, and we're going to see what Nigerians think, or what Nigerians would like to see 2022 look like. Um, it's pre-election year also in Nigeria, and so as the days and the weeks unfold, we are actually going to be seeing a lot of activities on the political scene. However, I want us to look beyond politics today, beyond the politics and beyond elections. Nigerians look forward to a better 2022, with expectations across various sectors of the economy. So on this edition of Data Chat, we're going to focus on the expectations of Nigeria. Expectations of Nigerians in 2022 across various sectors. And we would really love to hear what you think or how you want 2022 to look like for all of us in Nigeria. So just before we also have a street poll where we went to the streets to also hear what Nigerians have to say about the expectations for 2022. But just before we take that, we're going to have Abba Davis run through the polls and tell us what the polls look like. And we'll take it from there. Abba Davis, is over to you.
All right, good afternoon, Nigeria, and good afternoon, Abuja. It's good to be here. So the polls were conducted to gauge public perception regarding their expectation for the new year. The first question asked Nigerians what sectors they would love to see improvement in 2022, and the majority at 50% disclosed that they'd like to see improved security in the new year. 44% stated that they would like to see reduction in prices of goods and services, while 42% said they would want to see the economy improve. 42% of Nigerians also want the government to create more jobs, and 36% want improvement in electricity, while 28% want improvement in healthcare. Also, if you look at the analysis of the poll findings by geopolitical zones, you'd notice that while Nigerians in the southwest want the government to improve on security, 56%, reduction in prices of goods and services, 58%, and job creation, 58%. Those in the south would rather have improved security, 76%, also reduction in prices of goods and services, 58%, and job creation at 58% as well. We have, for those who said they would like to see improvement in job creation, Nigerians in the northeast topped the list at 58%, while followed by those in the southwest at also 58%. In terms of healthcare, Nigerians in the northeast topped the list of those who would want to see improvement in healthcare in 2022 at 43%, followed by those in the southeast, 37%, and those in the southwest at 31%. For education, Nigerians in the southeast also topped the list of those who would want to see improvements in the area of education at 42%, followed by those in the northeast, 9%, and those in the northwest, 5%. These are some of the key findings from the NOIPolls New Year poll.
All right, Abba, thank you very much. There's some things that I really am not... you talked about Southeast and education. I was hoping I would see that across maybe the North. What are the polls saying?
So for education, the Nigerians in the southeast topped the list of those who want to see improvement in education in 2022 at 42%, while those in the north central stood at 3%, northeast 9%, and northwest 5%.
Okay, so the southeast is a lot more higher.
Yes.
Okay, in terms of job creation.
Nigerians in the southwest and south are both tied at 58%, while those in the northeast stood at 53%. So these are the three top. These are the three zones which top the list of those who wants to see improvement in job creation.
Okay, I'm particular about security now. What is it saying?
In security, while you'd expect to see those in the north clamoring for security, the numbers are showing that Nigerians in the south at 76% and Nigerians in the north central 65% topped the list of those who want to see improved security in 2022, followed by those in the southwest who stood at 56%.
Okay, I really don't know what to say. Maybe our consultant here will help us explain all of these numbers. Anyway, that's why he's here. We have Jide Ojo. He is a development consultant and a public affairs analyst. We're going to get to him very soon. We just want to hear what Nigerians are saying on the streets, and we'll take it from there when we get back. All right, we're still here, and it's still Data Chat.
What are the key areas that you want the government to work on as far as 2022 is concerned, sir?
No housing, people are suffering, unemployment. There are a lot of issues. If they can hit on unemployment so that our youth should get jobs.
Let there be free work to the youth or to anybody that don't have accommodation, that don't have work. And free accommodation, maybe the money should be lesser. Then they will, for the less privilege, maybe they should open a restaurant that will be giving free food to anybody can go and eat freely.
Make Nigeria this peaceful. Secondly, we dey expect job opportunity for Nigeria. We dey expect job because you go see so many people inside this market. Now graduates, now all of them be. But who go now they say? Some they even say pure water. In fact, jobs so they're not supposed to do now then they do.
If there's enough employment, this insecurity of a thing will come down. You understand what I mean? All this kidnapping and what have you will be done.
If you really ask some of the sellers in the market if they have been to school before, there are some that are graduates, there are some that are even gotten to master's degree, but you can see there are no jobs anywhere. It's only those that are opportune to have jobs are those that knew somebody from this office. God bless us with everything, but because of the wicked of people, because of this Nigeria, we are suffering in any types of. You see our youth, no work. There is no work for them, and we look at me. As you see me now, I'm selling food, but I'm pushing barrow, rounding all the whole market. What called it is because of scarcity of things.
Jobs should be created for the teeming youth population in order to stop them from having this urge to allow themselves to be used to cause mayhem.
We're back. We've heard Nigerians and what they're saying. Some are saying job creation, others are saying insecurity and all of that. Like I said earlier, we have Jide Ojo. He is a development consultant and a public affairs analyst, and we'll have him help us unbundle all of this today. Mr. Jide Ojo, you're welcome.
Thanks for having me, Nelly.
All right, so 2022, that's where we are now. But let's take a slide back a little bit. By your assessment, in what sectors did Nigerians see obvious improvement in governance last year, that's 2021?
Infrastructure. I think in terms of infrastructural development, roads, rail, there's some significant improvement in the infrastructure at the federal level. I need to qualify that at the federal, because in many states nothing seems to be happening beyond payment of salaries.
Well, why is that so?
Unfortunately, it is so because we run a filibuster democracy. It is so because there is no sufficient accountability and transparency in governance. It is so because people have not built critical mass to demand for good governance. I mean, how could a governor be celebrating that he pays salary? It's governor alert. So I should work for you and not get paid?
You know, when we talk about this, we look at a lot of people complain about the center. You know, the federal government didn't do this. What does it, or what would it take for people to mobilize and hold their state governors accountable?
one, you need to build public consciousness, awareness. And that's why, don't forget, Nelly, most of these things that are being done with impunity, people will have tweeted about it. The answers protest of 2020 was galvanized by the use of social media, principally Twitter. And that's why, that was even what led to the federal government allegations that Twitter was conniving to cause insurrection in Nigeria. Because, see, the modern day governance has gone beyond calling town criers to say, okay, let's gather at the chief's palace or at the king's palace to discuss issues. Now, there are social media platforms that can be used to either commend or call out leaders that are not performing. And many governors are not pulling their weight at all. You find a whole year, the governors will not even commission one road project, not even half a kilometer of road. But when you ask, they say, oh, there's COVID-19. As if in abroad, in US, in UK, where they even record 1 million infections per day, as if governors have stopped completely in those climes.
So I think it's a case of people realizing that they should first start with holding their state governors, holding their
Even
local governors, yes,
exactly.
their local government accountable first.
Holding them to account.
Before we complain about those at the federal level.
Believe you me, Lenny, I'm 100% in agreement with you. What we do, because we are residing in Abuja, we can call out Buhari. Everybody, even things that are within the purview of local government, we call out Buhari. Why should Buhari be concerned with the feeder roads in Buhari local government or in Gwagwalada? Feeder roads, as in, Nelly, let me tell you, there's a lot of ignorance in the minds of Nigerian public. Do you know that every road they believe is Buhari's road? Buhari should fix the road. Buhari should fix the hospitals. Buhari should fix everything. Whereas the health sector, there is primary health care center, PHCs, is under the local government. The general hospitals are under the state. It's the federal medical centers and the tertiary hospitals, like teaching hospitals, that are under the federal government purview. So even sometimes when health workers go on strike, they are not going on strike because of federal government have not done its own bit. It's because of many state governors who have refused to pay or give them their allowances or whatever they need to work. But people do not have that information. The same thing with education. Primary schools are supposed to be under local government. Secondary schools are supposed to be under state government. And tertiary institutions, some belong to state, some belong to federal. Like if you talk of colleges of education, we have federal colleges of education, you have state colleges of education. You also have federal unity schools anyway, which are secondary schools. Because education is under the concurrent legislative list. So both the federal, state, and local government can key into it. But the point I'm making is that we need a lot of awareness creation and sensitization, which is why I give kudos to NOIPolls for what they are doing, conducting surveys and bringing people's perspective. You had the Vox Pop that we just listened to. People, there is a lot of ignorance in the public mind. They do not know where they go. Did you know that federal government allocation is 48%? The 52% is shared between the state and local government. So who has the greater? Is the state and local. But we call out federal because they are the sacrificial lamb. Everybody can. Even, this Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he did something in Lagos which is very ingenious and for which I will forever respect him. There's a road called Oshodi, Apapa, then down to Meron, down to Songwater. Everybody cast aspersion on the governor of Lagos State. I said, look, see the road. Oshodi road is impassable. If you go through Oshodi, you will spend 5 hours.
Now that road is fantastic.
Wait, Tinubu did something. He now did a very big board that even a blind can see it, and said, sorry for the inconvenience. This road belongs to federal government.
Okay.
It was at that point people knew that road is not a state road, but rather a federal road, a trunk A road, because it's a road that links to Ogun State and it's an interstate road. But if that awareness have not been created, the governors will have continually been wrongfully accused of negligence.
This is a case of us now creating awareness. All right, I would like to hear what Nigerians have to say about this. The numbers to call are 0817-687-2132 and 0817-687-2134. Call us and let's hear your take on what you think, or what obvious improvement you think you want to see in 2022. Also, looking at our polls, the results shows that 50%, which is topmost on the list of the areas Nigerians want government to focus their attention on in 2020, is security. The present administration, have boasted of, executing a lot of capital projects, and like you've said, you talked about earlier, infrastructural development. We've seen that at the federal level. So I'm wondering, we've seen that everywhere, yet a lot of Nigerians seem to weigh the progress of this administration against the backdrop of insecurity.
Yeah.
What is the implication, of insecurity for industrialization and sustainable development? Can we thrive despite this insecurity we see in Nigeria?
It's a capital no. Nelly, the truth has to be said. In my column in The Punch, I write for Punch newspaper for 10 years now. And in my column last week, where I was looking at issues that will impact on Nigeria in 2022, the last paragraph there, I said all of the other things will pale into insignificance if we don't fix insecurity. Because that is pivotal. Look, you want to do agric. You want people to go back to farm. The president is urging everybody to go to farm. But how can you go to farm when you are being picked like snails by bandits and terrorists? How can you farm? Now, farmers that's supposed to provide food for you and I are in IDP camps, afraid for their lives.
So I suppose this explains the hiking,
prices of goods and services. And that's the link, that's the nexus. Insecurity affects every other thing on this survey. Believe you me, insecurity affects education, affects health. Look at how many medical doctors have been kidnapped. One was just rescued in Plateau State yesterday. A medical doctor that applies his trade in Bakin-Ladi area of Plateau State was kidnapped on the 10th. He was lucky to be rescued alongside with the wife of the deputy chief of staff to the governor from the kidnappers then. Several other, look at schools, mass abduction of school students that we saw last year. From the one in Kaduna to the one in Kebbi to Zamfara to Niger. It was like every week, including Greenfield University students. I think 3 or 5 of them were even killed by the bandits when their parents could not come up with the ransom that was demanded. So what we are saying is that whether you talk education, health, agriculture, even infrastructural development, in Niger State, I learned there are some Chinese that are helping the state with infrastructural development that were abducted by bandits. And there is now a demand on them to pay ransom. So how do you want people to now accept to do contract for government if their lives are not secure on the project site? So every other, and that's why I agree 100% and even 120% with the findings of this poll that security is pivotal. That's why 50% of Nigerians say fixing security, we can deal with every other issue. We can find self-employment if the government is not creating jobs for us. We can do our own private business and be happy with our modest income.
All right, in terms of job creation, we've seen unemployment in Nigeria. It's a really bad situation at the moment, and especially when we consider the number of youths that graduate from universities every now and then. We also see those from the informal sector. We have a huge youth population in Nigeria. How do we deal with issues of unemployment for for this year, I mean, how do we work on this?
Well, again, fixing insecurity will help us deal with unemployment because it's a chicken and egg thing. Water will always find its level. And people who are not gainfully employed, but they are just there. Like all these people selling recharge cards, selling handkerchiefs, selling face masks on the streets. Ask yourself, how much would they make from selling of face masks? 100 naira on face masks. I'm sure maybe they will make 5 naira on each face mask, maybe 10 naira. But how many people will buy units of those face masks? If they are selling in bulk, maybe they cannot make 50 naira on this. But do you call that employment? That's underemployment. So if you add everything together, you are looking at maybe 60 to 70% of the population being unemployed. Then there is what is called youth bulge. Unfortunately for now, well, not unfortunately, our population, we have 60% youth population, which should be an advantage to us because we then, what that translates to is that we have virile manpower. Yeah. People who can do the job if you provide job for them. So instead of guys misapplying their intellect, their prowess, going into internet scam, going into kidnapping and banditry, they can apply such wisdom to creating wealth. And that's why we need to solve the problem of insecurity so that those who are graduates who are looking for a job who have not been successful can engage themselves profitably. There's what is called micro, small, and medium enterprises. Nearly, I give it to Buhari administration. At the federal level, a lot is being done in order to create wealth and employment. Look at the social investment program. The president increased the beneficiary, empower beneficiaries from 500,000 to 1 million. They have also similarly increased the one for artisan, and then there is anchor borrowers program for farmers. But insecurity is impacting negatively on this because then people want to either offer themselves for employment or create employment for themselves, but because of the prevailing and pervading insecurity, many of them are scared stiff, which is why we are also losing our manpower to Europe and America. Recall that last year, the Saudi Arabian authorities came to Abuja and Lagos to recruit our doctors, and many of them, thousands of them, actually left. So we are losing our professionals in droves because of insecurity. These are people that are supposed to help us create wealth, create employment opportunity, but it's not an hopeless situation. What I'm saying is that we can get it right if we support. Government has to deal with this issue, both hardware and software ways. In hardware, you need more men recruited to fight insecurity. Government is buying hardware like Super Tucano that was received from US. That was procured way back in 2017, but it was delivered last year, 12 of them, that is now to aid the fight against insecurity and insurgency. Now that bandits have been declared terrorists, what we learned last week is that they will be able to deploy this massive arsenal against these bandits who are now labeled terrorists. So if we see the decrease in the number of terrorism and banditry, then definitely there will be increase in the number of people. There is what is called micro, small, and medium enterprises. Federal government is doing a lot to incentivize that sector as well. Millions, billions of naira have been made available for what they call GEEP, JEEP, which is entrepreneurial support, where federal government is giving token of loans to youth who have entrepreneurial skills to be able to create jobs for themselves.
Okay, it looks like we're going to still have another session for this because there's so much that we need to talk about, both for last year and for what we should be looking forward to in 2022. As we wrap up very, very briefly, it's pre-election year. Electioneering and activities have actually kicked off, as it were. We're seeing all of these things happen. What should better governance look like, for Nigerians as they prepare for 2023 elections? Very briefly.
We have to demand. We have to demand. As you rightly pointed out, already in the day, people are declaring their aspirations. Presidential aspirants are dropping their caps in the ring on daily basis. We don't know how many it will be by the end of today. But governance should not suffer. those who are holding government positions, from president to governors to local government area council chairmen and councillors, those of them that wants to seek re-election should please remember they signed a 4-year social contract with us. They should not abdicate their responsibility for campaigning and for politicking. They were paid to govern, and they should govern well, like the song of this popular artist in Lagos, African China. He said, govern us well. So we need good governance, because the budgets are being passed, it's being signed. We want to see implementation of those budgets in a way that impact positively on good governance of Nigeria.
All right, that has been Mr. Jide Ojo, consultant, development consultant and public affairs analyst, and we have been looking at the New Year poll conducted by NOIPolls and Nigerians' expectations for better governance. Like he has said rightly, even as we prepare for 2023 elections, we hope that governance would not suffer. We look forward to better things in 2023 across various sectors of the economy, security, most especially, which will determine how far we'll go with others. This is how far we can go today on Data Chat. Data Chat is a production of NOIPolls. Mr. Jide Ojo, thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Thank you for thanking me.
All
Have a
right,
great year.
So all of you in Abuja, we see again on Wednesday, 2:30 for Data Chat. Do have a fantastic day. I am Nelly Ohuche.